Hi, boys and girls. We are starting Module 5 today, which is learning about fractions. Specifically, the name of the unit is, let me get it here, for fractions as numbers on the number line. So we're going to be talking about fractions and fractions on a number line. A fraction is a number, and it's a part of a whole. We're going to be talking about fractional parts. Specifically today, we are talking about unit fractions. So one part of a larger whole. So we're going to take a look at, come on in. Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to Module 5 in math. We are moving right along. You are learning so much in math this year. And Module 5 is talking about fractions on a number line. A fraction is a number, it's a kind of number, and it's a part of a whole, okay? And so today, specifically, we're going to talk about unit fractions. You've already watched the video, hopefully, so you've learned a little bit about what a unit fraction is. It's one part of a group of wholes, or it's one part of a whole, okay? So we're going to go ahead and do our problem set problems. We're doing 1, 2, 4A and B, and 5. Number 1, a beaker is considered full when the liquid reaches the fill line shown near the top. So right here, shown near the top. Estimate the amount of water in the beaker by shading the drawing as indicated. The first one is done for you. So a beaker is kind of like a cup. It goes out at the tops like you can see here, and it's used in science for measuring things, okay? So this line right here is considered full. So if we're doing 1/2, it would be filled about that far. The next one is 1/4. So what we need to do is try to imagine in our brains 4 equal parts on this beaker, and then draw where we think it would land. So you can shade that in. You're not drawing all of the parts. You're just kind of visualizing it. The next one is 1/3. So now I'm thinking about 3 equal parts. Where would that be? It would be a little higher than 1/4. And you can color that in. Let's take a look at number 2. Remember, I want you to practice reading directions on your own. So it's okay if you're listening to me read and following along, but I also want you to try to read them on your own. Juanita, oh, that's a tough name. What if we don't know how to say that? Could we pick any name that starts with a J? Absolutely, we can. Juanita cut her string cheese into equal pieces as shown in the rectangles below. In the blanks below, name the fraction of the string cheese represented by the shaded part. So for this first one, I see that there are 3 equal parts. When we have 3 equal parts, that's thirds. So here we have 1/3 shaded in. I could also write it 1/3. We don't say 1/3, we say 1/3. Kind of like when you run a race, you finish first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Next, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 whole parts, 6 parts in the whole. 1 is shaded in, so it's 1/6. And I can also write that like that. Next, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. 1 is shaded in, so we would write 1/4. And we can also write it 1/4. Let's take a look at 4A. So here's number 4. Each rectangle represents 1 sheet of paper. Letter A says, estimate to show how you would cut the paper into fractional units as indicated below. So the first one is sevenths, okay? So we kind of have to visualize and try to draw 7 equal parts. Okay, do the best you can. The next one is ninths. A ninth of something is even smaller than a seventh of something, so these parts are going to be even smaller. Now letter B says, what do you notice? How many lines do you think you would draw to make a rectangle with 20 equal parts? So let's look. When we drew sevenths, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 equal parts. And how many lines did we draw? We drew one. Well, let me highlight them for you. We drew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. So when we drew sevenths, we drew 6 lines. When we drew ninths, we drew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines. And I even want to go back here. When we had sixths, we drew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. And when we had fourths down here, we drew 1, 2, 3 lines. So what do you notice about the number of lines we draw and the equal parts we get? If you said we draw one less line than the number of equal parts we want, you are correct. So if we had a rectangle and we wanted 20 equal parts, how many lines would we need to draw? 19. Outstanding. Let's take a look at number 5. Number 5 says, Rochelle has a strip of wood 12 inches long. She cuts it into pieces that are each 6 inches in length. What fraction of the wood is one piece? Use your strip from the lesson to help you. Draw a picture to show the piece of wood and how Rochelle cut it. So if you have your piece of paper from before, your ruler or whatever, you can use that, or we can always draw a tape diagram. I know that she had 12 inches of wood. She cut one part into 6 inches, and she wanted each piece to be 6 inches long. So if I know the total on my tape diagram is 12, and I take the 6 away that I already know I have, how many pieces can I get? 2. So this piece would also be 6 inches. The question is, what fraction of the wood is one piece? So if I have 2 parts, one part then would be 1/2, right? Or 1/2, like that. Thanks for listening, boys and girls. You are going to go on to the homework and do problems number 1, 2, 3, and 6 on your homework. Submit your problem set and then get started on your homework.